Today we find ourselves back at Peri Solar Distribution with the goal of taking my 12-volt system to another level. Peri Solar are the local distributors of Victron products, and last year they helped me to install an awesome rooftop solar panel that has worked incredibly well for me. Today we'll be pulling apart my entire system, reorganizing some of the cables, and fitting a bunch of new products that will help us monitor the various systems that we have installed and just keep tabs on everything that's going on. Let's get everything set up inside and get down to business. So here we are in the back of the camper where all our work is going to be happening today. We're going to have to get this fridge out of the way because we're going to have to access, see that little blue thing down there? That's the inverter, and below that is the two lithium batteries, and we're going to be fitting a bunch of Victron products to my whole 12-volt system here, so we can actually monitor everything that's happening, which I'm really excited about. I think being able to keep tabs on all your inputs and outputs and see how much battery capacity you have and see what you're using, and that's really helpful. So very, very keen to get this done. It's not going to be easy, but let's get straight to it. The last time I saw my batteries was almost a year ago when we actually put this all together before our Kalahari trip. So it's kind of weird seeing them again. It's like we're digging back in and getting stuck in and just making things better, which is always exciting. This is what we're going to be installing today. The smart shunt, essentially, I think it goes on the negative cable from your battery, and it basically detects what's flowing through in and out of the battery. So with that information, you can get an idea of what sort of input and output your battery is getting. So the battery monitor we have currently, it tells us the battery voltage, but that's not very useful when seeing what sort of percentage charge you have on the battery, because lithium batteries stay at a high voltage for a very long time and then suddenly just drop off a cliff when they get too low. So the smart shunt's going to really help with that. So that's the first thing we're fitting. And then we've also got the Serbo GX and GX Touch 50, and this is just going to help us to monitor everything. So if I can figure out how to open this box, that would be a good start. So there you go. It's basically a little touchscreen display, which is really cool. So we're going to install this somewhere that's nice and easy to see, and on the screen we're going to be able to see our input from the solar. We're going to be able to see what we're using through the inverter and through the DC outputs, and we're going to be able to also see our water level in the tank because we're fitting a Victron tank sensor. So we can even access this remotely if we're in the front of the car and we want to see what our water level is. Let's say we're approaching a petrol station and we want to see, hey, should we fill up our water tank while we're here? We can go ahead and do that. And then lastly, we have our tank sensor, which will connect to this whole Serbo GX system and be able to see the water level through that. This essentially goes inside our water tank. It's got a little float here, and the sensor detects the position of the float and can tell you what percentage your water tank is at, which is obviously really, really helpful also. So when I built this whole battery box, we didn't have a lot of space to work with, and when I started fitting all those thick cables in there, it turned out to be a little bit of a mess with lots of cables having to go into a small space that's very hard to get to with a fridge in front of it. So we're actually changing things up a bit. We're putting bus bars on the left hand side where it's a little bit easier to access, and then the cables from the batteries will run to the bus bars. That just means if we need to like swap out a fuse, or if we need to access the battery isolator or the smart shunt or anything like that, we can actually just access it from in here nice and easy, and we don't have to like dig around behind the fridge. So yeah, little improvements, but they'll go a long way. These bus bars made everything far more accessible and meant that we didn't have a mess of cables running right above the battery terminals. Next, we needed to remove the water tank so that we could install the tank sensor. Easier said than done. So this is our tank sensor, and this is going to go right in here. So we're going to drill a hole at the top of the tank. This is going to sit right over there, and as you can see, it looks like it was made for this tank. The size is absolutely perfect. As the water level rises and falls, this part floats up and down, and that will give us a reading that we can access through the app, or we can access remotely using the Bucky's Wi-Fi network. So the Serbo GX that this connects into can use the Bucky's Wi-Fi to transmit this data anywhere. So I can be sitting at home or anywhere in the world, look at my phone and see what my water level is, which is amazing. If you're wondering how the seals, it comes with a gasket. The gasket will go over here, and then it will bolt in tightly on top, so that even if we rocking back and forward and the water's up to this level, it's not going to leak anywhere. So yeah, let's get this in and put it back in the Bucky. We now had a bit of a problem to solve. Where do we actually put these new components? Well, we decided that the best option would be to create a partition in the storage compartment so that the Serbo GX, MPPT and Smart Shunt could all have their own space while the rest of the compartment could still be utilized. We fitted a few L brackets to the aluminium frame and then cut a piece of Perspex for the partition itself. Here's the end result, a nice clean area for the electronics and minimal storage space lost. With the water tank back in place, we could now connect the sensor to the Serbo GX. This required a bit of crimping and heat shrink, in my opinion the most aesthetically pleasing part of an electrical build, although the guys who have to do it every day might disagree. Don't let your hobby become your job, they say. The sensor, the inverter and the Smart Shunt all connect to the Serbo GX via USB cables, and the Serbo then sends the state to be displayed on the monitor. One of the best things about Victron products is how incredibly well they all integrate and communicate with each other. We decided to fit the monitor right in the front left corner of the camper. This will keep it out of the way of any luggage we may need to pack in the back, make it easily accessible from both outside and inside the camper, and conveniently, the bracket for the tank's breathing valve happens to be a great surface to mount it to. The system requires some programming to function correctly, and Calvin helps me to get everything set up as it should be.
On-offs, we'll go to analog inputs, tank level 1, so input 1 there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll notice that this screen looks a bit larger than the one I showed earlier in the video. We actually decided spontaneously to rather fit the larger one, as it would be a bit easier to see from further away. And I have to say, it looks really classy. With everything set up, we can now see all our data on one screen, as well as digging deeper into specific data about each unit if we want to check up on them. Well, that's a wrap on all our work today. Took a bit longer than expected, but I'm really happy with the way things turned out. We've got everything nicely tucked away neatly behind a piece of Perspex, so I've still got my packing space, but everything's going to be out of the way and easy to access if we need to fix anything. And then we've got the display set up nicely over here, so we can really monitor everything that's going on. So now we just have to plan a trip where we can test everything properly. Once again, big thanks to Piri Solar. I'll say again, if you want to get work like this done, it's really helpful going to people who know what they're doing. The average electrician who does work on a house doesn't necessarily know how to work with 12-volt systems or have experience with that. And the average 4x4 shop doesn't necessarily have electrical experience, and they may not be able to choose the right gauge wiring and wire things up properly. So yeah, Piri Solar once again has done an awesome job, and yeah, make sure you subscribe, because the next trip we'll be putting this to the test and seeing how it all works. So here we are, next morning. Sun is barely out, just sticking up behind the clouds, so we don't have full sun, but here's how it looks when we have a little bit of solar energy coming into the whole system. So PV charger on the bottom right over there, you can see we're getting 24 watts right now. That can go all the way up to sort of 300 watts or higher, 390 watts, 400 watts, since we have a 430 watt panel. And then that's our state of charge at the bottom left, 95%, with 13 watts being used from DC power. And that would be the fridge that I've just switched on, and stuff like that. Now, if I go and start the car, which I will do quickly, hold on a second. So now we have power coming in from the alternator, and we can actually see that. The screen will now show right over there, DC power. DC power minus 475 watts, 500 watts more or less, and that is now power coming into the battery from the alternator. So it does not change the fact that the solar is still coming in. That's solar plus DC-DC charger, 500 watts, and yeah, so within those two things, we're not going to have any issues. And the last thing to test is we want to check our water tank level. So if I slide over here to this display, we've got freshwater tank 0%. I'm going to go pull up to the hose pipe. Let's get some water in the tank and let's watch that change. Okay, so over there we've got water flowing into the tank, and we should be able to watch that number climb.
And that's a wrap on yet another build video. If you want to see this beast of a vehicle in action in some beautiful parts of Southern Africa, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.